Welcome to Live, life inspired views for every day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. Tomorrow is the election. Often a story provides a reflection of what we value in any given situation. So today I will tell you a story. It's by Richard Paul Evans called The Tower. It's a story I've used when teaching leadership skills from sixth graders to adults. For you see, there was once a young man who desired to be great, but he didn't know how. One day he decided to be great and to get all the people to look up to him, he would need to build a high tower. After many seasons, he finished his tower. It rose high above the village. The young man thought, now everyone must look up to me and call me the greatest in the land. There was only room for one at the top of his tower, and as he sat there day after day, he soon became lonely. But it didn't matter to him because he was a great man and would certainly not associate with those lower than him. One day a bird flew by the man sitting alone at the top of his tower and asked him what he was doing up there. The man retorted, I'm a great man. The bird replied, Ah, I've always wanted to see a great man. Let me look at you. And the bird flew around the man. He landed on the man's knee and said, I don't really see anything so great about you. What makes you great? Proudly, the man told the bird that he didn't expect a mere bird to know such things, but that he was higher than anyone else, and so all must look up to him. He pointed to the village below and said, See how small they are from here? The bird looked and said, Well, they do look small from here, but perhaps from the ground you look small to them. The man was a bit puzzled and said, It doesn't matter. I'm above all of them. The bird then replied, Yes, you are high, and it is a long way to fall. The man quickly said, I will not fall. This is a very strong tower, the likes of which has never been seen in this kingdom. The bird said quietly, All towers fall with time. The man just thought the bird was too common to know anything. The bird then said, You may be great, but I know someone who is greater. Who? The man growled. She's an old woman, said the bird. She lives far below and could never climb this high tower. But even we birds look up to her. With an arrogant laugh, the man ridiculed the bird for thinking someone like her could be looked up to, but he asked the bird where the woman could be found. The bird told him he could find her every morning by a large rock near a wide bend in the river. And with that, the bird flew away. The man woke in the morning and climbed down from his tower to find the woman. He found her just as the bird said, and to his surprise, she was a very small and very withered old woman, wearing ragged clothes and looking very poor. She was surrounded by birds and was feeding them from her loaf of bread. The man approached her and said, I have heard you are great. The old woman looked at him, but didn't reply, just continued feeding the birds. The man then said, You can't be great. No one looks up to you except these birds. The woman replied gently, No matter. The man puffed up and asked what she knew of the great man in the tower. Oh, I know of him, but whether he's great or not, I do not know. But he's nothing to me. I pity him, she said. What? He cried. How do you pity a man all looked up to? Then she said, I pity him because I think he must be miserable, spending his life where it is so cold and friendless. I have learned that those who build such towers only enjoy the climb to be higher than others. Such people must always be lonely. Well, said the man, it's a small price to pay for being great. She asked him how he knew the man was great. The man retorted that he was great because all could see him. The woman with gentleness said, Being seen and being great are not the same. To be great is not to be seen by, but to truly see others. She threw the last of the crumbs to the birds and said, To be great is not to be higher than another, but to lift another higher. It is said that the man left the old woman and took his tower down, and soon people in that village began describing him as a great man for the way he loved and served others. I tell you this story because choosing the leader of our country affects all of us. Elie Wiesel, who survived time in a concentration camp during the Holocaust, said, "We must take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented." When Nikita Khrushchev was the leader of the Communist Party in the Soviet Union, he was asked by a group of reporters why he had not stood up to Stalin, who had previously ruled the country with violence and horror. Khrushchev yelled into the group and said, "Who said that?" No one said a thing. The reporters were silent. Then Khrushchev said, "Now you know. Hmm. I want a leader who I can encourage my grandson to look to as a model of goodness, who leads with the spirit of love and passion for the common good, who is someone whose character we can admire without reservation, without fear, someone who does not live to be higher than, but rather lift another higher." We have all probably determined where we will cast our vote, but I tell you my hopes rather than remain silent. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write vote. Join me next Monday for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.